Last year, 5th grade, we learned how to do a lot of different weaving, tabby weaving, ryo weaving, basket weaving, and we're going to use all of those this year to create a little yarn person. Okay, so we're going to make a little person out of yarn. Here's some left over from last year that were made by kids and me. So that is what we're going to do this year. This is your loom, just to remind you that these strings here are called the warp strings. If you've got a pencil or a marker you can stick underneath there, it's going to make your weaving a lot easier because it's going to elevate those warp strings and get them up off the cardboard so you can get your fingers underneath there. In your weaving kit, I put several little bags on the inside. You have your loom, and then you have one bag that says Tabby yarn. It's Tabby. I need you to pull out your tabby yarn. I've got some of my tabby yarn here. And select a color or colors. It doesn't really matter what. And this is going to be your head. We're going to start weaving the head. And since it's been a long time since we've done tabby weaving, I'm going to go nice and slow so we have a review. You know what? Let me use my dark color so you can really see against that cardboard. So for tabby weave, what you're going to do is you're going to hold your yarn at the very end of the yarn, and you're going to have all of it kind of dangling behind you. Okay, so you're going to hold your yarn so there's only a tiny bit left, and you're going to go and under over your warps. Now this is called the weft because it's going to go left to right. Just remember weft to right, and this is the warp. So I'm going to take my weft and go under the first warp string, and then I'm going to go over the second one so you can see the difference. This one's underneath. This one's over. The next one needs to go underneath. The next one needs to go over. This probably sounds familiar since we did it a lot last year. Under and over. So it's like a pattern. Under, over, under, over, under, over. Pull it so all you have left is about an inch or so. Do not trim this inch off. I've had kids, every year I have a kid who wants to trim, and we will trim. Once we take it off the loom, we'll trim it and make it look really cute. But every year I have someone who wants to trim it while it's on the loom, and they end up cutting a warp string. And if you cut even one of these, the whole thing unravels, and you don't want that. So I got to the very end, and this one is over the top of it. You can see the white warp string is underneath this. This is dark blue, but it probably looks black on your screen, the dark yarn. When I go back, I cannot start over. If I end over, I can't start over. I have to start under. Let me show you why. Here's what happens if you end over and you start going the other way over again. Look what's going to happen. You're going to go over, under, over, under, over, and when you go to pull it tight, it's going to unweave itself. So what you need to do when you get to the end is you need to do the opposite. So if you end over your string, like this blue string is over the white string, when I go back, I have to start under because it creates a little loop or a little latch area. So I go under here, over here, under, over this one, under this one, and it does take two hands to weave, doesn't it? You see I'm using both of them, and over. And then I pull it, okay? Just like that. And you can see that I ended on top again. I ended over. So when I start back, I cannot start back over. It will unravel. I have to start back under, all right? So under, over, under, over, under, over. When you pull it, do not pull it so hard that you see how this warp string is starting to bend in. You don't want that because eventually if you keep pulling it so hard, it's going to get to where your warp strings are like this and you won't be able to weave anymore. You want them to stay straight and parallel, straight vertical. You also don't want to not pull it enough and leave a big old loop here. So you got to kind of be like Goldilocks and you got to find the actual right fit, just like that. That's the right fit right there. Okay, I end it over, so I start back under, pull it through, and you will get to the point of where you're a pretty fast weaver. It's all about just repetition, repeating the same thing over and over and over again. Okay, I end it over, I start back under, and I'm making like a zigzag pattern. I'm going back and forth. Okay, back and forth and back and forth like that, like this. Okay, and my string is starting to unravel a little bit. There we go. And I think I can make it across one more time. I'm just kind of judging. Yes, I can. So I'm going to go across one more time. There we go. And now that piece, it's not going to be able to make it across a second time, so I'm going to stop there. And I'm going to take my fingers and I'm going to push that all together and make it nice and neat and tidy. Okay, you want that nice, neat, and tight. So to make we're making our little face first. To make your little face, you're going to need to do this more than one time. You can switch your colors out. I honestly do not care if your face has more than one color or if it's all the same color. That's kind of an artist choice. I just want to make sure that you're understanding how to tabby weave. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to weave this on the video. I'm going to speed up what I'm doing because you don't need to watch me weave, but I do want to show you what the face looks like when it's done. Okay, I'm going to stop there. That is going to be the head of my little person. I used 5 pieces of my tabby yarn for the head. 5. That's what you'll need to use as well. 5 pieces. Like I said, I don't care if they're all the same pieces or if they're different colors. It doesn't matter, but we're looking for about 1 inch or so for the head. While I'm in the tabby mode, I'm going to go ahead and start the shirt also. And the shirt is going to also be a tabby weave. So my goal for you guys today is to get your shirt done and to get your head done. Because when we come back next time, we are going to learn how to do the hair and we're going to learn how to do basket weave. Okay? So let's get the shirt done. I'm going to do that same thing where I speed up for the shirt. Here we go. And for the shirt, I'm going to use 8 pieces of yarn. So where you used 5 for the head, you can use 8 for the shirt because the shirt's going to be a little bit wider. Okay. You know, I think I'm going to stop there. I think I'm going to use 7 only. I think 7 will do it for a shirt. That'll be fine. So 5 for the head, 7 for the shirt. And if you can get this done today, the head and the shirt, then you are done for this week, and we'll come back next week and do some more. Remember, do not trim. Do not trim these. There will be part of the lesson where we eventually get to where we're going to trim those. Today's not that day. Okay? All right.